Size mile, what's a euro? Go to the waxy star, go says euro, what's a mile? I got a burden. I went up to Monto Town to see and kill me cargo. But he wouldn't give me half a grand. I go to the waxy star, go. Well, yeah! I'll have a pint with you, sure. Ah, that money a dozen, not a soul. Shack down on the poser. Shut down on the poser.
Alrighty, hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully my audio is going out. And really, I want to get this out of the way because really, I am going to be out of the picture for this evening. This is a sequence of videos that I've wanted to do for quite a while, and but I've always had a problem with the context or the timing. Now, as Peace Island is coming very close, we are, I believe, now 6 or 7 days out from beta. That we're going to be sending out to publishers, I felt that maybe I should grant myself and the gaming world, game development world at large, a boon this evening and spend a little bit of time discussing something. Now, if you have gone to our the project website, peaceislandgame.com, you can go to our creators. Now, this page doesn't contain all of our creators. We've worked with, I think right now the really core staff, the people who have really contributed, is about 5 people. It would be myself, Laura, Lance, Richard, and goodness, Scotty. Well, we have a couple of people, but that were not mentioned here, really. We've worked with about 40 artists from around the world, but here's the thing. This video is not about the people that made the project. In fact, I recently did a video giving high praise to Lance Stucker, who came to us when the project was in a bad state and really helped us out. Now, I wanted to take a moment to highlight some people at the very bottom of this list. I'm going to highlight this here. While the vast majority we have worked with were dedicated creative people, we have unfortunately encountered a few individuals who had no intent beyond scamming us. And, pardon me, I ate garlic today. I'm going to be burping a little bit. Just imagine me as Rick Sanchez. But it finishes with protect yourself in your indie game project. These individuals scammed us. Hire them at your own risk. And I put them down here at the bottom. Now, there are 3 individuals. We have Brett Dunham. Now, we're going to talk about him a little bit later, but the 2 people that really instigated the scam were these individuals. Now, Mike Bonafide, he was one of them, and another one was a guy by the name of Mike Sharanovsky. He goes now by the name Amy Elizabeth Sharanovsky. Now, I want to preface any angry comments from the trans community about dead naming somebody. I understand the sensitivity of that, especially in the wake of recent actions by the current administration here in the United States. But as you'll see in this video, these individuals have this habit of undergoing changes over time and changing their names when it suits their purposes. So it's very important that these people be named in full. Now, Mike Sharanovsky and Mike Bonafide, as I said, were unfortunately the ringleaders, but we're not going to go into them tonight. What I would like to go into in this first video about scammers and is the individual here at the very top, by the name of Brett Dunham. Now, I'm pretty sure that some of the people that scammed us are still ghosting us, and I'm pretty sure they're going to leave a comment down below about how come we can't move beyond this, and we really should move beyond. Trust me, we have moved beyond the scammage. It took us about a heck of a lot of hard work and a lot of just coming to terms with stuff. But trust me, we've moved on. But I believe that is very important for the game development community at large to understand that there are people out there that will come to them with the greatest of resumes, but with only the worst of intents. Now, give me a moment. I am not used to speaking at length. I think another thing that always prevented me from doing these is I was always working on Peace Island while discussing this, but that's going to be a problem tonight. Now let's go again through these initial people. We have Mike Sharanovsky here. You can see, pretty good resume. And we have the other person, Mike Bonafide. Now, the individual we're going to discuss tonight is, again, top one, Brett Dunham. Now, understand that Brett Dunham has gone under several aliases and has changed his name. He's gone under Brett with one T, Brett with two T's, and currently he seems to be selling himself as B. Dunham. He does this because, well, maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself, because we don't want to dive in a little bit too deep end. I just want to give how our experience went with this individual, and then we'll go into what they have been doing since. This individual was recommended to me by the aforementioned Mike Sharanovsky, or Amy Elizabeth Sharanovsky, and they were brought in to work on the character controller. Now, what really gets about this is, understand, out of all of his credits, lead designer on the on any of these franchises where he was the design lead, quote unquote, he was working with constraints of design that were already laid out by other people. And the sad thing, I will say, before I really say anything bad about this individual, is that I feel sorry for him, because having done business with this individual, is that number one, as you see in the video thumbnail, he really likes to use pictures of himself when he was younger and thinner, but also he is a fan of Ayn Rand, and he truly believes himself as a creator, but he's never actually created anything. So really, I want to start off with just going, I feel sorry for this guy, because on top of never really ever creating something, he has really reverted in the later years of his career to just scamming. One project after another, moving on to another, scamming, changing his social media, literally creating websites of companies that he supposedly works for. I don't even know what he's doing when he did that. I think it may be money laundering. I don't even know. I've seen where this individual lives. Considering he's worked in the game development industry, I mean, really, he claims to have worked on it now for, over 20 years. He lives in a house in a neighborhood where the sidewalks are cracked, and really, I wouldn't walk through it in the middle of the night. And anyway, but again, I think maybe, he was just spending too much time reading Ayn Rand and maybe not practicing actually being a game developer. Because what really stands out to me about this individual is because, I mean, really, I saw this exact page when he was recommended to us. And when he came onto the project, I remember the first meeting, and I was describing that we are creating an open world adventure game. And you wouldn't think that this guy with the serious goth stuff going on and script, but I remember like he sounded like a deputy Fife from Mayberry. But Eric, I can't. I'm very sorry. I actually have testosterone in my body, so I can't replicate the voice that Brett Dunham was using. But he complained that open world video games are very hard. They're very difficult to make. And at that point, I said I should have said, "Thank you very much, Brett Dunham. It's been nice talking to you. Goodbye." Because trust me, if somebody does not share your vision, screw them. Doesn't matter their qualifications. You should just tell them to go bye-bye. But I did not. Because again, Mike Sharanovsky came to, he said, trust me, this guy. He's the best. This guy did absolutely jack all but provide excuses. And he could not even create a cat controller in which the cat would jump. That was too hard from Brett Dunham. Now, understand, this Peace Island is the first open world 3D adventure game that I have ever created. I created a controller that could jump in one day. Yeah, it was using a third-party plugin, but I got it done. This guy, he sat around for months and basically provided excuses and nothing else. And people might ask, well, Eric, didn't you notice something was going wrong? You should have been on top of this. It's your fault for being scammed. Well, number one, don't blame the victim. And number two, understand, during the first 6 months when this guy was with the project, during the first 3 months was right after Peace Island had gone viral. And I was literally spending 11 hours a day keeping on top of emails, sending out premiums, because we didn't have a system for that. I literally sat in my office, did all the postcard sets, by hand, mailed them out, etc., etc. Now, and I was also doing interviews with publications all around the world. Excuse me, more garlic, pardon me. There we go. And yeah, it was a very just crazy time in my life. And I was told, just trust us, Eric. We got it under control. And after 3 months, Brett Dunham had done jack all. And I started to get concerned, and that's when he started producing excuses. Oh, this is very difficult. What you're trying to do is very difficult. And I said, yes, but I just want you to make the controller. If you can't make it... No, here's the thing. At that point, I did not know, and this will come out in later chapters, that by that point I had already fallen victim to what's called a confidence scam. That was made up of, basically, at that point, a triumvirate. But here's what happened. And whenever you have a crime family that thinks they're getting away with too much, they try and expand things a little bit too much. They think, oh, we can bring in more people. And what they did one day was they brought in somebody by the name of Kara. I forget her name. And I had a conversation with her, and she seemed to be a really knowledgeable person, far more energetic and, on fire and competent than Brett Dunham ever could be. And plus, this individual, Kara, she was very good with Mac. And also, apparently, they had to leave the gaming community because they are trans, and they used to work in a company down in San Antonio, and they just got so much BS that they had to quit. I mean, I just thought, heck, any chance to help out, somebody who had been alienated because of the bullshit that was going on, we would love to bring them on, somebody with experience. Now, here's what happened. They were trying to bring on that Kara individual to get more of our money. And let me just insert here. These people, they did get some of our money. Yes. But really, in context of the entire project as a whole, it was so minuscule. It's kind of laughable that these people consider themselves, I mean, this is what they do for a living. And not only are they scammers, they're very bad scammers that go after crumbs. But anyway, I don't want to spit on them too much. Well, actually, I would, but let's just move on with the facts. I don't want to get my emotions into this too much. So anyway, Kara, she's with us for 48 hours, and she quits immediately with a long letter saying, Eric, you're being taken for a ride. People are ripping you off. You got to do something. You got to take control. That day, Brett Dunham disappeared. Kara, Mike Chernovsky, Mike Bonafide, and Brett Dunham thought they could bring in Kara in to have a little bit more of our money. She came in and she said, no, I don't want the money, and I'm just going to call these people out for what's going on. And by the way, Kara, this isn't about you. If Kara is one of the individuals that still ghosts us, I will say thank you so much for number one, getting rid of Brett Dunham, and number two, telling us to get on Steam. We should have done that much sooner. Anyway, no hard feelings. Anyway. And now you might say, well, Eric, you have a bad experience with this guy. But that doesn't mean that everybody has had a bad experience with this guy. All right, well, number one, let's just bring up the text editor here. When you look up Brett Dunham, game developer now, you get B. Dunham. Brett Dunham. And Brett Dunham. You can go to the Google. There are 3 different LinkedIns. There are 3 different, and each one of them has separate data. This individual skips from project to project, and every one of them fails. Let me show you an example. I mean, here's one of the projects that this guy got into after he worked with us. Well, no, was scared away by Kara. I forget the name of it. Let me see if I can find the picture. No, actually, just pics. There we go. Now let's see here. I think I have the image here. That's about it. It shows it. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, he worked. This is one of the times that you could track him down. He worked on of course, a crypto-driven, because who else would a scammer work for than a big scam? This was a video game that he worked on just a couple of years ago, and you could look like this. Looks like a Dark Age of Camelot back in 2009 to me. I think what he did was he sat and just got checks and said, yeah, I'm overlooking this. And 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 you can see the entire thing here. And yeah, he worked, and it was funded by something that at the last time that I checked was like a fraction of a cent. It's probably, I mean, it was another pump and dump like all of these are. And so, and of course, I mean, this sums him up better than anything. Nothing says integrity like using a 15-year-old photo on your LinkedIn, because he still uses that on his LinkedIn. And After this project, that sank, by the way, never got anywhere. Because, at a certain point during the crypto craze, they were trying to figure out a use case for all this crypto crap. And the biggest thing was to create a stupid MMO. And, I mean, again, no creativity, no brains required. Another quality Brett Dunham project. But after this, he disappeared. And you have to go back in time because he's changed it now on his social media. But he literally, he said his current employment was at a company, and the only thing you could find was a placeholder website with absolutely no contact information. Now, I believe, here's the thing, is, like I said, I'm going to try and keep this short. I could sit here and just talk about this individual and about all the other scams that he's been involved in, because I understand Brett Dunham. Number one, he thought when he signed, he's not very smart on top of everything else. Because when he signed the NDA with us, the non-disclosure agreement, he apparently thought it was in perpetuity, and we could never ever talk about what went on. So you see that's the mindset we're dealing with here. Let me see. I said this wasn't going to take long. Let's see. Yeah, I think I've covered just about everything. I would say that every game developer out there needs to be concerned, not just about people like Brett, but about people like him and the other two individuals that I will be pointing out in subsequent chapters in the series. People need to know about this, and I know for absolutely sure. That other projects were targeted by people. Other projects that have been successful on crowdfunding have been targeted by individuals like this. And targeted by individuals like, let's go here, over here, Mike Shiranovsky and Mike Bonafide. It needs to be known that there are people out there that will take advantage of you, and trust. And it needs to be said out loud that this sort of stuff happens. Because scammers, they depend on their victims being too ashamed to stand up and say, somebody got my confidence. This guy came online, they pretended to be my boyfriend, my girlfriend. They came to me with like this oil, a deal from Nigeria or whatever. Yes. A certain amount of blame goes on, quote unquote, the rube, but you can't put the majority of the blame on the victim. And I'm willing to come out and say yes, these people did try to do this with us, try and steal as much money from us as possible. And again, Mazel tov, guys, if that was a big haul for you. Because again, when I say that out there, I try and break the fourth wall to perhaps Kara and Brett and Mike, the two Mikes. Because that seriously, you're very small game fish, and I could say that I covered it all in my finances, and not a single person who donated to the Peace Island Project had to pay for anything, any of these guys' scams. And in the end, As Genesis P. Orridge once said, and perhaps Oscar Wilde as well, the best revenge is living well and not giving up. Because when I found out, I mean, I will say, these guys did their damnedest. But I consider ourselves very, very fortunate because we did walk away, and we are still going, and we are going to be releasing the beta of Peace Island to publishers for review. And despite people who, I mean, these guys who came to us with so many years of experience going, oh, it's so hard. In the end, let me tell you, any game development company out there who gets these guys who come to you from these quote-unquote AAA companies with these long resumes, show them the door immediately. They have no passion for your project. They are used to being paid ungodly amounts of money for sitting behind their desk and playing video games while they wait for the executives upstairs to tell them what to do. During the 18 months that these guys stole from us, it would have been better if it had just been me, Laura, and our composer and a couple other folks, and just keeping it, to the beginners, the people who believe in the project, because these AAA guys certainly won't. And Brett, I'm going to finish this video because I think Grandpa Eric is getting a little bit rambly, and I'm getting a little bit cotton-mouthed, because again, I'm not used to talking for so long. But anyway, I'm going to finish with a direct message to Brett B. In fact, I'm going to put my camera up here so you can see me. Oh, somebody's in the chat. I'm very sorry. I can't see you. I'm not going to respond to that because I just want, really, this is a very short video that I brought up into public interest because people need to know. And I just want to finish this with a farewell to Brett because if him and his buddies, and his buddies, because I guarantee you they're eventually going to see this. Hi, Brett. Hey, Brett. After this video, I'm pretty sure you're going to get a little itch in your head that says maybe I can sue this guy. Please do. Please do. If you want to try and go after my YouTube channel and get it taken down, please do. Because it'll be back up and everybody will know. More people than ever will know. So just swallow the truths that I put up about you tonight, or pick a fight that you're going to lose. Take care, game development community. Brett Dunham, go screw yourself. Take care. Bye-bye.